So let's take a look at the content calendar. You are going to have a link to this in your lesson. And it's a very simple thing. So we do one a week. So what we've done here is broken it up into the months. And you can see this is for 2022, which is this year, last year, depending on when you're seeing this. We've got our target publish date. It could be any day of the week. It doesn't really matter which day they publish on. Pick a day that makes you happy, makes the client happy. That's fine. Here's where we're going to put the title to the blog post. Okay, we want to put the writer's initials. If you're using multiple writers, it helps keep you organized. So since we're going to start off by doing 3 months, we're going to create all of these blog article titles, right, for these first 3 months, and then hopefully we're going to assign them to writers. Now, if you just have one writer, that's very simple. If you have multiple writers, then you're going to want to keep track of, okay, who's doing these articles, when are they doing them? It'll make your life a lot easier. We have the length of the title, so you can check it because that's going to be your title tag. So the blog title will also be your title tag. And so you want to keep that at 74 characters or less, and that includes spaces. So keep an eye on the length over here. And then we have different columns, and you can adjust these if you like. These are the things that we have used and found to be successful. So we have a status column. This way, if we're again using multiple writers, we know where the post is. Is it assigned? Are they writing it? Do we have it for review? Is it at copy edit? What are those stages that you're going to have? You have to figure those out internally, and then you can use this status column to keep track of them. And I would try to keep this simple. I would keep it 5 or 6 statuses tops maybe. If you need approval from the client or other people, you can note that here when it was done. And over here is where we're going to put our keywords. So our number 1 target keyword should go right here in this field. And then you can put 2 to 3 additional keywords right over here. And so now you've got them all together. So the first thing we're going to do is come in here and put all of our target and additional keywords in for January, February, March. And we're going to do that before we have the blog title. So we want the keywords before we have the blog titles. Over here, we don't use these much anymore. We used to use these a lot more. Add a link to the post so we could go to the post if we want to after it's live from our content calendar. And then has it been shared on social? And, again, that depends if you're doing the social for the client or if they're doing it or if you're tracking that they're doing it. We just want to have those blog posts shared to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn or whatever social media platforms they prefer, with a link back to the website, back to the actual post so that people can read it. So when you're starting off, we're going to put their keywords and additional keywords into the content calendar, and then somebody's got to write the blog post titles. You can Google, there's a lot of different blog post title generators out there. Some of them are a bit repetitive, so be careful. One of the easiest ways to do this is give the target keyword to the writer and let the writer come up with the title. We definitely want the target keyword in the blog post title. If you can also get an additional keyword, that would be great. A lot of times that's going to be hard to do without making it sound awkward. So we just have to kind of bite the bullet, get that main target in the title, and hopefully, because we want a title that we also want a title that has some kind of sexiness to it, that is kind of catchy, that people are going to want to click on when they see it in the search engine results. So this is how you'll track your content, and it can be a document that can be shared with the client to be used with them, or you can, just manage it internally yourself. We've done it both ways. It depends really on the client and how involved they want to be in this level of it. And, of course, who's writing? Is it the client writing? Is it you, or is it your outside writer, or is it your internal writer? Whoever it is should be involved with this and on this spreadsheet. And it's a very, very simple tool, but it definitely makes things more organized, because now when you are planning, your 3 months of posts, now you've got them all set, and that in, mid-February, now we've got to do the next 3 months. And 3 months is a nice chunk that you can bite off and get them scheduled at least, and know where you're going ahead of time. And that, it reduces the kind of scrambling around every week to find somebody to write a blog post. So when we're scheduled out, 15 weeks in advance, then we know we've got, okay, we scheduled it. Now we're going to just execute. We don't have to be running around like chickens with our heads cut off.